are going to open, as we always do, with the latest version of our invocation. Muses, gather with us, and deliver us one vision spoken in words of power and potency. Make us instruments of the Creator, and deliver us from hesitation and doubt. Muses, gather with us, and let play begin. And so, this episode is episode 9, titled Blood and Salt. And so, previously in the Underveld, our heroes had encountered the dwarves of Union Crew 6514, of course, had made some companionship there and found out about their plight. Not only are they sort of myopic and don't really have self-awareness about why it is they're doing what they do, they're sort of dissatisfied with their working conditions, and they are constantly in sort of contention with this endemic group of reptilianoids, kind of creatures called the Lizzies. And so part of the manifestation of this problem is their young brother Rollin having been captured and presumed perilous or dead. So our adventurers journeyed deeper into the Lizzie Warrens, deeper into the sort of the path where this underground river once flowed that's sort of been drained out by the dwarves' engineering project. And along the way, they sort of lost Vincent when he hightailed it back to the dwarf camp. They, at some point, abandoned their rock cutter laser, the rock cutter wand that they were using to kind of, aid them, martially. And then they did eventually find and rescue Rollin after having been some of the party been captured and having a few skirmishes with the Lizzies. And so on episode 9, part 1, here's a little bit of how that started. You eventually open up into a familiar section.
I'm not getting audio.
Oh, hold on. And looking back, it's hard to remember what was where, what was the sort of chain of events. No audio at all for you guys on that?
It's just really quiet, I guess.
Yeah, I can hear audio. It's just, it's a little quiet.
I can turn it up.
I'm going to try to pump that up a bit for you guys. Hold on. Tell me if this is any better. It's in the chain of different rooms and chambers you've been in. But you recognize this area. It's got quite a higher domed ceiling, and there is a large sort of central stalagmite hanging down in the middle of this room. And the room branches off into sort of 3 distinct passageways from where you just came, and 2 other passages. And you know that you're pretty sure that one of them is leading back to the dwarven camp. You're not sure where the other one leads. And at this point, Rollin makes a request. He says, "Okay, Craig, put me down. I gotta walk on my own for a while. My legs are cramping. Do you guys know which way to go here?" Pause. How's this sound now? I actually don't hear what you guys hear. It's totally different for me because of my system. So can you at least hear it and make out what's going on? If it's not perfect, that's unfortunate, but...
Yeah, I can just turn it up pretty high, and that works just fine. As long as Matt doesn't blow the speakers out.
It won't be ideal for the recording, but we'll try to readjust after we get this part out.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries.
Bill seems kind of turned around.
I would have let's have a look around for pieces of the wall that might be gone that someone have taken off. See if that's a way we've gone before.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna send. Okay, Craig, buddy. You and Lord Yennik, am I getting that right? Okay. You guys go, peek down that hallway, see what's going over there. I'm gonna look down this hallway, and you guys just hold up for a minute in case we need to backtrack at all. And Sleepy Bill, why don't you come with me? And so he takes Sleepy Bill off and goes towards the one tunnel. Craig and Lord Yennik seem compliant, and they go up towards this other tunnel. And I want you guys, you're resting there in this mouth of this first tunnel. I want you to all make a vision check. Vision check.
I'm assuming I have some sort of disadvantage.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Night
I
blind.
think since we haven't made any, you're underground. You're gonna get a disadvantage to your vision check.
I only got a 7.
7's pretty low. Nick's plugging in. I think.
I got an 11 on the worst roll.
Not bad.
I got 22.
Nick got a 22.
22. Okay. Constable Bippers, give us your best investigators look here. Like you're really tracking something down, noticing something. So Constable Bippers looks up and he's taking a look through the caves. It's kind of strange, light, but he's seeing this large central stalagmite, and all of a sudden he notices there's like a big crack and sort of like tool marks along the diameter on a ring around this thing. And good roll for vision. Notices there's also little like wedge pieces in certain spots, and that there's very thin bits of cord tied to these wedges, or sort of like somehow manipulating these wedges. And so you're kind of tracing back the cord, and all of a sudden you see on a rocky outcropping a Lizzie, or what you think is probably the form of a Lizzie, tucked in, holding one of these cords and making a motion. And your eyes dart, and before you can really like say anything, you see another Lizzie in a similar orientation on the other side of the room. And then there is a shrill screech, and all of a sudden they pull these cords, and there's this kind of like Rube Goldberg chain of events where the crack opens and the stalagmite begins to fall. And so you all can make probably a grace check to respond to this massive stalactite. Alright, so basically pertinent information right there is that the Lizzies collapsed this trap at the point at which this party had split up. You guys had gone farthest ahead, Craig and Lord Yennik, towards the Dwarven camp at this three-way intersection. Rollin and Sleepy Bill had gone because basically there was a question about where, and things were turned around a bit, so you were each kind of peering into a different section of the corridor of this network. They dropped the trap and kind of closed you all off from each other. So Alka and Constable Bippers and Effie were trapped sort of out towards the Lizzie domain. You guys are trapped towards the Dwarven domain, and Sleepy Bill and Rollin were trapped in a different unknown section of the cave. And so we are going to open up the episode with you guys being on the other side of this sort of big, basically we're actually going to take you right from your grace checks and everything. But first, some quick business. Before we do that, we're going to do our character upgrades. So, Lord Yennik, what stat did you choose to increase for your level up?
1 second, because I left my character sheet in the other room.
No problem. We're going to default to Craig. Craig, what stat did you choose to increase?
I'm gonna increase my vigor, bring it from a 5 to a 6.
Okay. So now you've got a 6 vigor. You'll roll with a 6 vigor die, and you'll have 6 hit points at least. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what was your concept like for an ability gain?
So I have 2. One I'm
Excellent.
one I'm calling like Boggs Brew. where my whole idea is it's a way to share my kind of like fog sense with my companions. Where it'd be like something I carry on me and it'd be like they drink it and then they can see kind of and feel how I feel for a certain amount of time.
Okay.
Or just your classic like Misty Step from D&D where it's I just kind of teleport through the mist or the fog, I guess.
So these kind of decisions I've been leaving somewhat open to the group. I like the second option better personally, or it's more clean to me anyways. Not that I dislike the first option. I think there's definitely possibilities there. Did you pick up on that at all, Lord Yannick? Oh, you're muted.
I didn't. I only caught like the tail end. Can you summarize
So
it again?
basically, he's talking about how his level up ability, the one would be Bog's Brew, which is like he can produce something for you to drink that temporarily lets you kind of see through his foggy eye ability, somebody he bestows that to. The other one is sort of a Misty Step where I'm guessing he becomes immaterial for a certain amount of time and reappears, somewhere else. I'm into the second one personally, but it needs some constraints.
Of course.
So I think we either need to have that be like a once a day thing, or you need to expend somnium or something. Any thoughts from you guys?
I personally would rather go to like the once a day type mechanic.
Yeah. We could also do a vigor roll requirement.
Yeah, I'm okay.
So
with that.
like you have to roll a certain amount of vigor check to successfully do it. That would make it unlimited, but if I was going to go that way, I would like put pushing at this point for like a max roll. So you could like try to do it every turn, but it's only going to happen 1 in 6 times. So
Is there like a delay time to like let the fog out? Because it could almost be like if you fail, the fog disappears, and then there's kind of a recovery time, like for you to like.
There's definitely actions. Yeah, that's a good idea. There's definitely actions required to like control the fog, and in the past, he's had to use a movement action to move the fog instead of moving himself. And so I think that I would be comfortable. Let's do it this way. This is kind of a happy balance. Once a day, free. Pay to play beyond that. So you can use Somnium to juice up that ability, but like Jake's saying, you have to have already sent out your fog. And
oh yeah, of course. This was something I imagined.
Right.
Yeah, that would be like after it's out.
The act of doing it is going to dispel the fog too. So like, you shoot through the fog, but it's sort of like, or the fog
comes into me.
Comes back into So then I like that.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Actually, it is quite a strong ability, but we're getting up there character-wise, so it's like it's not crazy that we would have that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always open to.
No, I don't think it's hard, really. Okay, so I think we've pretty much got that figured out. Jake, Lord Yannick.
Yeah, so we got 1 point in our skill tree, right?
Yeah, 1 point to raise an ability score.
Okay, so I was gonna do grace.
Okay. So what's your grace score now?
It's going to be 6 now.
Yeah, so now you'll roll a 6, and you'll get a bonus to your defense, and you'll get a bonus to targeting, and whenever you're doing opposed grace checks, you'll roll a d6.
Okay. And then I guess for my added skill, I was thinking that I could attack like shield bash kind of from a defensive state, where I don't have to like leave a defensive state. And then go back into it. Yeah,
that's a no-brainer.
So that's kind of what I was thinking.
You've already got like no penalty for moving in defense mode, right?
I don't know if I have no movement penalty.
Because I thought maybe that was something that we had worked out before.
Maybe it was. I've got a lot of stuff.
Like at a previous, yeah. The guys were saying that their character sheets are pretty full at this point, so we might have to sort of remake our character sheets soon. We are going to do a brief meeting next. We are going to do a brief meeting next Thursday. Out of session to kind of possibly address some of that stuff. So heads up on that. Okay, well then I think that pretty much gives us something to work with. Sure. So. And then the last detail is we're working with a small group tonight, but we'll still just fill you in on this. We're playing with a new level up mechanic from now on, which is basically very subjective and very sort of democratic within the spirit of our sort of player-driven game. And the way that that works is that it will depend on the DM saying, like, something will happen significant. A character will have a significant roleplay moment, a really good roll, a really good finishing move, something that makes me impressed, basically. And then I will entreat the group. Was that a level up? And then the group is like, thumbs up or thumbs down. And even including the person who's going to potentially be leveling up. They may not think, nah, it's not a significant moment as you think for this character or whatever. And so that's how we're going to play all our level ups from now on. So, you know, you kind of, it'll be a somewhat incentive to have some, just some attention on those big moments. And we'll see how that works. Maybe it won't work, but maybe it will. Okay, so.
Sounds cool to try out for sure.
Yeah. So, we return to this scene. The stalagmite crashes down from the roof of this section of cave, and when it hits, it just shatters into these huge pieces of shale. Big, you know, sharp pieces and big rolling pieces come flying out towards you. You dive for cover, make a grace check to see if you can avoid getting hit by one of these broken pieces of rock.
I got a natural 20. 26, I guess.
I got a 17.
All right. So a huge disc of, you know, fractured rock flies through the air towards Yannick, who puts up his shield and just kind of it glances off and careens off into the, you know, the cavern behind him. Likewise, Craig sort of steps away, and where previously there was Craig, sort of a big bulky silhouette of mist, and like this stuff kind of blows that past. But the rock falls, and when the dust settles, you are clearly isolated from your fellows, back in a familiar section of the tunnel. Somewhat familiar. Gets confusing down here. It's kind of hard to navigate. So first off, I would ask, in this dark tunnel, what are you having available for a light source?
I mean, I'm sure I'd have a torch in my backpack, but aside from that, with us separating, I'm sure one of us I would have been carrying one anyway. I've kind of been the guy with the torch this whole time.
I've got nothing.
Pretty reasonable to me. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm like naked actually, like this whole time. Just like chained to this door. That's all I have. Those are all my earthly possessions. That and some somnium that I have somewhere. Leave that to the imagination.
I think you've got your, I know you have a hat. You've got a little outfit of clothes. When did you lose all your clothes?
I've got a hat, and that's it.
Okay. Well, luckily it's dark and
I'm
cold.
thankful that Craig has a torch and is showing us the way.
Didn't one of you guys collect a piece of this, you know, glowing whatever it was on the cave walls, or is that one of the other guys?
I did not.
I don't think Craig would have, no.
Okay. Well,
I thought it was you, Craig.
I might have, yeah.
so basically there's this strange fungus or naturally occurring geode or something that you've witnessed in the glowing part of the caves, and it seems to be agitated by a physical, you know, thing. So basically if you expend an action to shake it, then it's going to give you illumination in like a 5-foot radius for that round. Or if you like found somewhere and it was on thing, if you like, you know, somehow agitate it, it kind of glows in response.
Okay.
And anyways, so you guys are obviously in a little bit of a predicament. It doesn't appear that by normal means you're really going to effectively get through this rock. So why don't you guys take a minute and discuss what you think is prudent here.
This isn't good.
Yeah,
Is there any way around it or anything?
I mean, let me try punching it and see what happens.
That's a good plan. You start punching. I'll look and see if there's a path around.
All right, you look that way. I'll start making a hole.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah, no, this is pretty solid rock over here, by the way.
So What do you think we should do? I mean, we were going back to the dwarf village. Maybe they've got another one of those wands that can clear the rock out.
Well, at the very least, they're dwarves. They gotta know how to mine, right?
That's racist, dude.
Hey, man, that's their job.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should just, leave, and we shouldn't even yell or anything to see if they're like okay. I think we just keep forging
Yeah,
ahead.
they probably couldn't hear us throw this rock anyway. That's pretty astute observation, I would say, on your part. Good job.
Also, those Lizzies tied some seriously impressive knots to spring this trap on us. Is all I'm gonna say. I thought they were pretty incompetent when it came to that stuff.
Yeah, because what, they threw a net at one of us and it just like tangled up someone's feet barely.
Yeah.
And I was awful. I was like, oh, cool. We're so much more intelligent. These Lizzies, they can't even tie a knot. And then they
Yeah,
go,
I don't even know anymore. I think I don't know. We've been underestimating them.
either that or we've been fighting the rejects. I don't even know if these are the true Lizzies, you know?
So on that note, I'm going to read a bit an excerpt to sort of metagame excerpt. This one's loosely titled "Lizzie Warrens." The semi-aquatic reptilian humanoids that dwarves called Lizzies dwell in a sprawling cavernous complex never seen by human eyes. It is unknown just how long they have dwelt there. Lizzies are considerably more primitive and animalistic than the known sentient races of the Veld, though they share features that point to some common ancestry with the surface world, including, curiously, a grasp of the common tongue. Might makes right in the Lizzie world, and the brute class wield bulk and claw to that effect. The mightiest of the Lizzies, however, are the daughters of Shiga, who form the priestess class and wield powerful magic and natural weapons, placing them even above the brutes. The Lizzies mostly occupy themselves with fishing, sleeping, fighting, and raiding the low-road dwarves, whom they view with the utmost contempt as defilers of their territory. The lowest class, the Wormlings, are resigned to reluctantly build and fortify the outposts of the Lizzie domain. They resent these responsibilities, and it shows in their craftsmanship. The Lizzies have no history or significant oral traditions, and instead take all direction and impulse in the form of revelatory dictums rained upon them by their priestess class, who claim special connection to an unknown entity called Shiga. Okay, and you guys resume. I just seemed relevant with what you were talking about there.
I have a question. So that monster is it Shiga or is it just the mouth of Shiga?
This is metagame stuff, but I'll just say they call this thing the mouth of Shiga. This is not Shiga.
Okay, interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, so you guys are back on.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I just hope our friends didn't get hurt, and Sleepy Bill. I hope him and Rollin got out of there also.
oh, they better be okay, or all these Lizzies. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Well, we better hurry though. If they're in trouble, we should really get moving to see if we can find some help. You know?
Yeah, let's get back to that dwarven base. If it's this way, I guess.
Yeah. Also, is there any of that moss around that you were just talking about?
So yes, in my recollection, and in this case we're going to go with the DM's recollection, you broke off a little piece out of curiosity of this glowing whatever this was. It's sort of this cold, globular formation. It's hard to tell. Is it geological? Is it living? Is it some kind of an animal or a colony? Unknown. And you certainly don't have really the tools or the specialty to know, what exactly is going on. But you know that this stuff, whatever it is, it agitates when you shake it or when you strike it. And so the bits that, had were globbed on in areas of the cave when this big stalagmite fell kind of flashed as there was all this concussive force that flushed through the area. And it kind of might have sparked your memory of going like, oh yeah, I've got a little piece of that stuff. That might come in handy. Though I think it's also reasonable to assert that you would be carrying a torch. So perhaps one of you could have a torch and one of you could avail yourself of this little shaky piece, this little globular.
So can I make shoes that light up when I walk?
Potentially. Yeah.
And in a more concise fashion, if I put the things that if I put the moss into balls and tied them around my ankles so that way they like kind of clacked rather than actually running around with glow in the dark shoes, I think that's more realistic.
I definitely think that shaking them around like that, you kind of got a loophole there where that would work, I would say, and give you dull illumination, around. It would let you see. It wouldn't
At
be
least
ideal.
where we're like right in front of us, if we're running.
Definitely. Basically, you can make light up shoes for yourself. You'll have to make some checks to successfully craft that.
Can I assist him in those checks? Because I think it's
Why
really
not?
cool.
Yeah. All right. So you guys describe to me this process.
So I'm gonna
Talk it out for me. You beginning character here.
All right, so what we're gonna do is I need some twine or some rope or something, and we're gonna tie little nets around parts of this moss or fungus, whatever this weird glow in the dark stuff is. Like look at that, that's awesome, huh?
I'm kind of against clothes. I've only got a hat, so I don't have any twine. But do you have some?
I'm sure. Let me check my backpack and I rummage through, and I pull out something. I've got something to make
Yeah.
this.
You got materials.
Oh, nice.
And I'm gonna tie them up into little net balls, and then I'm gonna wrap them around my ankles, and then this way put them on each ankle, and then that way when I'm running, it's gonna slap some part or something on my body while we're running, and it's gonna light up at least a little bit, so that way we're not like tripping over ourselves or something like that. I'm sure this hasn't been paved as efficiently as the dwarves camp. We got to be safe, as unions always are about safety first.
Safety first.
These are impressive. You should sell these once we get back to the surface world. I think it'd be a big hit.
Yeah, we'll have to remember to grab as much of the stuff as we can. But yeah, we gotta get running. We gotta go find some help for our friends.
Oh, I guess, but definitely table this light up shoe idea.
Oh yeah, no, this is the new dwarven market.
Definitely. So, do we have shoes now?
So make some. I want you to make 2 successful guile checks against a 13 to craft these shoes, and with your Yennika's assistance, we will give you advantage on those rolls. However, each turn that we spend doing this, there is going to be a % chance that there'll be a random encounter of some type while you guys are here tying your shoes effectively. So I'm going to roll off screen for that, and go ahead and make your rolls.
My first roll came out to be an 8. I don't know what I get from Yennik.
You said at advantage, right?
So yeah, Greg, you'll roll twice and take the better roll.
Okay, sorry.
Since Yennik is helping.
Well, I got a 9 for the first one.
I got a 16. I'm really into these light up shoes.
Let's get another try then.
And then I got a 13.
I got a 16.
Okay, so you're nearly finished. You kind of got off to a rough start, but you guys spend 20 or 25 minutes or so, kind of like you talk about it for a while. You sort of like R&D. You're in the dark, so like every once in a while, Craig's like shaking it and be like, "Hey, okay, you're right there. I want you to both make a vision check."
Okay.
19.
I got a 16.
All right, so while Lord Yennik is down, kind of helping fashion them, and Craig is sort of like doing the thing where he rotates his calf to kind of see like the shoe. He's like, "What do you think? Yeah, too." And then like Lord Yennik's kind of poking around the toe. He's like, "Is that enough room in the toe? Is that good? Okay." And stand up to make sure you get on the heel. Like, is that comfortable? Because it's not all about the look. Okay. But as Lord Yennik is down helping him, there's this little puddle in the cave, and Lord Yennik notices like a boom, like a deep, basically a resonance, like a little ripple going out through the puddle a few times, like doosh, doosh, like some far off, impulse that's kind of running through the cave ground. So, yes. You guys are still basically a roll away from having this figured out. What will you do?
Do you hear that?
Craig, there's definitely something big walking around, but I really think we should spend our time finishing these shoes, getting them done right. I think it's going to pay off in the long run, honestly.
Well, here, do you want to keep messing with them, and I'll keep a lookout as best I can with this torch?
Sure, yeah. That seems like a really good plan.
That or actually, you know what? Let me it probably does it. I forget. Does it cost me somnium to like do my mist nonsense?
Ooh, yeah, use that.
To skip with the mist or just to send it out?
Just to like kind of send it out.
No, it doesn't cost you anything. It's a supernatural ability of yours to just
Cool.
you just cost you movement. You know, you have to use your movement. Yeah.
Well then, yeah, it could. So
So
yeah,
if Lord can unassisted make his roll, he won't get advantage anymore, and
Yeah.
you can send out your mist.
yeah, that's what I'd like to do. If that's cool with you, Yannick.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great plan.
All right. So yeah, we like kind of hear.
As
the
far down the
puddles.
corridor as you can.
Yeah, I'm just gonna spend everything I can to kind of like almost like a reaction, like panic sense, just like shoot
Right.
it out, you know.
So Craig sort of gets up and peels back his thing and just shoots this big vape rings of smoke of mist out into the cave, and it just shoots down around the corridor. He's probing through there. In the meantime, Lord Yennik is furiously messing with this little thing, and so I still want you to make a vision check, Craig.
Of course.
And Lord Yennik, why don't you go ahead and roll your guile to craft these?
I got a natural 20.
All right, so did you really?
Yes, I did.
All right, so Lord Yennik just it kind of clicks for him. He's like, oh, and he has this little insight. It's not a level up. If it was later in the episode, it might have been a level up, but we're too early for that. If he leveled up with shoemaking, it'd be pretty cool. So you're like, oh, around the hole and through and you have this revelation, and all of a sudden, just his shoes are just bah, popping off, and they're just sort of reflecting around, really working it. And what did you get, Craig?
I got a 13.
All right, so Craig, you shoot out a ways, and not too far around, 2 full sprint actions. You shoot off as the mist, and you're sort of it's pretty familiar, just empty cave territory. Maybe there's some little spider or something crawling here. Maybe there's some worms under the ground over there, and there's puddles. There's not puddles. We're getting a little bit. We're still very much in the rough hewn area where the river once flowed through. But you come out into the familiar room that is the pool of Shiga, and you sense it very still and empty in there. There doesn't appear to be any Lizzie activity. They're gone from their posts. The gate that had been sort of assaulted seems abandoned. And that's what you can tell from this distance. And I think that I'm going to sort of retcon a limitation here that says that you cannot sustain, under normal means, your mist farther than 2 of your regular movements away. That seems
For sure. Oh yeah, because with the now teleport nonsense. Yeah, that's totally
exactly. Yeah, so that seems it seems tidy though.
Yeah, I can even bring it back. That's seems really far to do that.
We're getting up there. I think it doesn't bother me, especially since that's a once a day thing, and it was a sort of a supernatural thing that. Anyways, that is where it is for now. So, light up shoes, but once again, as you sort of reach out, there is some distant sort of goom, goom, sort of a dull pounding, and then it stops.
What do you see with your fog?
I don't see anything, and it's quite a ways out. I've got a pretty good idea scoped out of the tunnel. I think we'll be able to run right through it pretty quickly, but whatever is doing this, it's farther away, and I'm a little worried, to be honest.
But check out these Air Yenniks. I just named them. I took all credit.
Yeeks.
Dude, these are awesome. We're definitely gonna have to come back down here and get everybody a pair. This is, man, I feel so cool. I always love getting new shoes, man.
Really changes your mood. It makes you feel like a different person.
Yeah, I was feeling a little anxious there with that giant pounding sound, but I don't even care anymore.
I think it's just cave sounds. I don't think there's anything out there. I think we're good. We've got the confidence with these new shoes now. I think we just start storming our way back.
Heck yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, so you guys continue down in the cave. Tell me like what your approach is as you're going out there. Like, are you running? Are you sneaking? Are you like, what's the deal?
I'm just walking and hoping that Craig with his mist is gonna let us know when anything's coming up on us.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go at like a pretty like brisk pace while trying to like keep up my mist at least a little bit in front of us or something, just so we can like see around corners and whatnot, if those come up.
But we have these light up shoes, so like, I mean,
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, I mean, let's just go.
yeah, that's. I mean,
I'll give you the torch because I've got the light up shoes.
I thought we had 2 pairs. Dang it.
Oh, or do we have 2 pairs? I don't know. You got a natural.
No, there's
20.
only one pair of light up shoes.
Oh, shit. Wait, so like, what if each of us had 1 light up shoe?
That's conceivable, but it wouldn't work as well. And that's
Yeah.
Currently he's equipped with those shoes, but assuming you guys have the same foot size, which I don't think is fair to assume.
Oh, I'm bulky.
Such shoes. It makes quite a bit
You
bigger.
have
I
dainty
think.
feet for like a big.
That wasn't one of the drawbacks, so.
I'll settle for the torch, I guess. And but yeah, I say we just like book it. We just like, gotta get back.
I'm down for that.
All right, so in a few moments of like running, you reach back out through the light. So does somebody have the torch? Does Lord Yannick have a torch then?
I do
Okay,
have the
Lord
torch.
Yannick is running, keeping the torch lit, and this torch will burn for probably about an hour. And you've got your light up shoes, of course. You're skipping along there, and you enter back into the pool of the mouth. And you see sort of where you came from there. You see the familiar scene, but just very dead calm in there. And I want you guys all, you kind of scan around and you see the abandoned sort of, this is the, where this, the second gate is. From like out from the Lizzie out domain, and you see a bunch of trampled, sort of smashed looking eyes of Shiga plants, and no Lizzies in sight, no captive, humanoids in sight, and I want you both to make a either vision or guile check. Basically, you guys choose, but you're either looking around or you're sort of using your other senses to try and get some sense of what's happened here.
I got a 17.
Yeah,
I'm using guile.
on vision.
Okay, so let's start with the vision. What did you get, Lord Yannick?
14.
Okay, so as you're searching around, you find part of the apparatus that you believe it's the priming crystal to the rock cutter wand, and it looks sort of like it's been broken off of the rest of the thing, and nearby you see a large pool of blood. And Craig, kind of poking around with your other senses, you're sort of feeling things out, moving around, when you sort of like step somewhere and like kind of step down into an indentation, and then when you look, you see like large footprints, and they're sort of shaped with like a 3-toed foot, ending in a dull claw, about the size of probably about like a 12 to 16 inch diameter, like a big dinner plate size, basically, of some kind of flat-footed creature, and relatively round foot as well. Yeah, and so you guys are sort of on the far side of the pool from the way towards the dwarven camp.
Look, the priming crystal for the rock cutter. I wonder if the rest of it's around here. I can't remember. Where did we leave that?
I can't remember either, honestly.
We do like a remember check.
I think that would probably be vision, in a sense. Yeah.
Like to see if we remember where we like dropped it.
Yeah. So using sort of your inner vision effect to like, where did we drop this thing?
Sure.
Yeah. Go ahead. You can make a check on that.
I got a 19.
I got a 13.
All right, so you guys, Craig, you recall abandoning. Well, it wasn't necessarily you, but yeah, you abandoned the wand somewhere on the other side of this pool.
Okay.
Sort of after you had, like, it was in an encounter, you had shot through the gate, you know, to like kill or try to kill one of the Lizzies that was up there. That was when you guys like reunited with Effie and Bippers after they had been captured. You kind of dealt damage with the wand and then dropped it to do other combat options, basically.
Okay.
So the wand was left somewhere in the vicinity of this room, and it looks like it was, at least that was broken apart off the main apparatus of the wand.
Yeah. So it would be fair to say that the other half might be like on the other side, potentially, of the.
Definitely
something on the other
possible.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were dropping it across the other way, so it's probably just around the side. We should probably go check over there. But did those Lizzies have feet this big? And I look at this, and I just kind of start stomping in it because I got the light up shoes, so you can see. Look, I fit both my feet in here.
You're kind of like river dancing inside of it to get a real good image here.
Yeah.
Way to show off. I don't think so. This definitely looks like something different. We should probably keep an eye out for whatever it is.
Yeah. Are there? Do you see any more like tracks around me? Like, where's this going?
I think it's just this one. Probably just jumped off one foot.
And it's like, there it goes.
When you search, you do find there are these big tracks, and there is a blood trail leading along one of the side paths around the pool and back towards the Low Road camp.
Oh.
That's not good.
Well, hopefully it's. Do you think it's that monster they kept down there?
The monster. What monster?
The
fish?
the giant fish they had. I can't remember what they were calling it, but I
I ain't
hope,
seen no
hope it's
fish
that
with feet.
blood. Right? I haven't either, but I haven't seen no talking lizard before.
That's good. That's a good point. Yeah, we should just probably keep an eye out. Let's see if we can find that rock cutter though.
Yeah, let's you go that way, I'll go this way.
Sure, it's always
Right,
good to
'cause it
split
was,
up.
Yeah, so, well, we already are split up again, right?
Exactly.
All right, so I want you both to roll Guile again to sort of detect anything. It is dark. You do have your sources of illumination. So we've got a blue light going on sort of the one side of the pool, and we've got a red light of torch going on the other side of the pool. And as you guys are moving across, you're looking around. It's eerily empty and quiet. And as you go by, you sort of, on the one hand, Lord Yennik at some point holds his torch out over the water, peering for a glimpse of the mouth and whether it might still be there within the depths. And alternatively, Craig sits on the ledge and dangles his feet quickly, and it kind of like casts light over the mouth, excuse me, the pool of the mouth. And then basically it occurs to you both pretty much that, oh, there was that whole thing where like with the fruit, like there was a thing with the fruit and the like there's some connection there, and so one or either of you might be, you know, have an impulse to like use that as a test to see if the mouth is still down there somewhere or whether it has in fact gotten up and walked away.
Quick question. The fruit didn't glow by any chance, right?
No.
Okay, cool. So I'm not like walking with bait around my ankles.
No, well, I mean, no.
Maybe. Okay.
Having glowing ankles is definitely it's a sort of bait for some things, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
not a direct correlation to the eyes of Shiga.
Yeah, I am definitely curious to see if it's still in there. Well, you said everything was trampled. Is there any eyes nearby?
You guys could try to find, there's something, you know, definitely kind of or some things trampled around in here and disturbed a lot of it. And a lot of them were like the local crop has been pretty decimated, and whatever ritual was going on here before. Some really emphatic, liberal use of the eyes. But
Yeah.
probably there's one kicking around here somewhere. So if you take a little time, you're both going to manage to find at least one fruit. And so what will you do with that?
You want to toss them at the same time? I found mine.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. They
Huh.
smell really bad. I don't want to eat these.
Yeah, I
So,
feel bad for anybody who's ever tried one of these things. They smell awful.
I know. So I'm gonna wish that I had light up shoes and yell Kobe and like jump shot it in, even though we don't know who that is.
I'm throwing it at you.
Who is? What is the context, Lord Yennik? Because there is someone from your past that you know named Kobe. And what is the history there, and why was that significant? To throw something like that.
Yeah, so back when I was a kid, my childhood friend, we always used to try to sneak out of the house together, and Kobe one time, got some rocks and threw those to distract my parents, and he threw them one way and we ran off the other way, and so anytime we've like skillfully thrown something,
Kobe.
yeah,
And,
I remember my friend Kobe,
All right, so you guys both throw these things. They like plink in the pool, and they start to sink. There appears to be no significance or motion when, after a few moments, there's sort of a churn in the water, and a dull whirlpool forms, and then just like it kind of like sucks down. And there's a dark silhouette. You can barely make it out. It might be your imagination under the water that sort of like whoa, just kind of like weaves through the water. So it appears that the pool is still very much inhabited by the mouth, and probably a place to avoid.
Ooh, did you see that, Craig?
Yep, fuck that.
Yeah,
This place sucks. All right, let's find the rest of that laser and get out.
yeah. I'm wondering what made these footsteps up here, though. If it wasn't that thing.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's concerning.
Is it still rumbling in here? Or am I just making that up?
I don't hear anything.
At the moment, you hear no rumbles.
All right. I think we're safe then. Let's find that rock cutter then.
Yeah, let's grab that real quick.
Okay, so you continue on past the mouth. You reach the pool of the mouth. You reach the other side and the entryway to the tunnel, which will lead you past the first outpost and back to the dwarven camp. Is there anything you're doing along the way, or are you pretty much just trying to get down to the bottom and find what's going on here, get back to the camp, meet up with the dwarves?
I assume we didn't find the rest of the rock cutter though.
No.
Yeah, we just have the. Did we pick up that? Did you just call it the primer, maybe?
Up to you guys, yeah.
Yeah, I can toss it in my bag. I mean,
Sure.
I'm a-
Yeah, a little
I just got a little beefier after that last thing. So
So yeah, I mean, if we didn't find the rock cutter, we should go back and see if the dwarves can help us. Either if they have an extra one, or if they can come and help us try to save their brother and our other people. Maybe we'll run into Vincent too while we're back here.
yeah, hopefully, man, his expertise would be really helpful right now. All this blood, I feel like he'd love it.
Thank him.
All right, so you guys continue down the cave a bit longer. Do you have a particular order? The cave does get narrow in certain places. Who's going first?
I mean, I have a torch, but you have those shoes, so I'm feeling. I think
Doesn't
I'll go
matter
first. I
to
think the
me.
torch gives more light, right?
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
Cool.
Okay, so you guys move together, and it's not too much longer. You're making pretty good time through the darkness that you come to the outermost Lizzie outpost, the one that you basically blasted through on the first occasion. You see the remains of Vincent's skeletons and the charred things of the Lizzie encampment. This area likewise looks like something large has come through and left a mark. And additionally, you do see here and there trails of like splattered blood, something bleeding moving through this area.
Whatever this is, it's got a lot of blood in it. Or whatever it's eating, I guess.
I mean, I'm gonna touch the blood and just kind of like, it's just to see how old it is, I guess, see if it's fresh
Yeah.
or old. That's a thing.
Yeah. So you've leaned down to investigate some of this blood, and what you notice is that in the spaces where you find it, it is seen. You know, it's hard to tell because it's a wet environment, it's cold and everything, but it's not congealed yet, which would mean that it might be fairly fresh. But it's must have been left there long enough that it's gone cold. There's no like residual heat or anything to the blood. And it is, you know, thick, you know, otherwise healthy looking blood, I guess you would say.
Okay.
But yeah, kind of inconclusive, I would say.
Yeah. So it's semi-recent. This has been ish. Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
within the last. You don't have a great window, but within a day, anyways.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, whatever it is, it's still bleeding. So let's go find it.
Do you know what the Lizzie blood looked like? Is this an injured Lizzie, or do you think this is like one of the dwarfs that maybe the dwarfs tried to come and save us or something?
Oh, as much as I wish that would have been them, I doubt they came to rescue us.
I'm worried for Vincent. I know he ran back a while ago. I'm hoping he's okay and made it
Oh
back.
yeah, I didn't run into trouble on the way back. Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I can't remember what the Lizzies. I don't know if I ever injured any of them.
I mean, we're kind of just all in the haze, you know. It's just you see them, we're killing them, and it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah. Can I search the place we're at for like another torch or something? Since you said we only had one, and it's only
Yes. Yes.
what would that be? Like a
That would be you could use vision or guile for that.
I got a natural 20 again, or 26.
All right, so you search around and in sort of the wreckage, and you do find some sort of crude Lizzie torch that you think you can make serviceable for maybe another hour's worth of illumination. By this point, it's been close to an hour that you've been trekking through. It's kind of tough moving in the darkness, even in an area that's familiar, and even with the light sources, you've covered some distance at this point to get all the way from the inner outpost to the outer outpost. So yeah, you got another torch equipped, and yeah.
Yeah, it took a while when we had Sleepy Bill on the shield, and we were wading through all this water and whatnot. So we're making good time. I think we should just keep forging our way back.
Oh yeah, of course. We'll have to keep our eyes out. You know, be cautious though. But yeah, let's keep on moving.
Are you going to keep your eyes out like the mist is still out, or?
No, I'm gonna save that. We got the torches. I think it just get in the way at this point.
Okay.
All right, so you guys continue down, and there's sort of dips and tunnels that get narrower and wider in spaces. It's all sort of familiar as you go through it, but it's also like it's the dark spaces and the deep spaces. They play tricks in your brain, and it's like, are we going the right way still? Like this, I thought I knew where I was going, and now I'm kind of like second guessing myself. But every once in a while, you'll be sort of mixed feelings, reassured, but also disturbed by the fact you'll see more of this sign. You'll find the blood. You'll find a footprint here, and then you will find Lizzie footprints at times as well, smaller footprints. So whatever this thing was, it's moving along with the Lizzies. It looks like, and you move for a while closer. You feel that you're getting quite close to the Dwarven camp by now. You actually can see areas that look like they've had Dwarven improvements done. You start to see signs of tool marks and areas where you use the rock cutter wand to carve and open up the entryway to facilitate not having to dive underwater as far. When suddenly you're hit by a disturbing sight, and that is a badly crushed gray stovepipe hat.
Uh-oh. Vincent, is that you? I can't remember if Vincent had a stovepipe hat, but...
Yes, he had basically a big gray top hat.
Okay.
Yeah, big ratty gray top hat.
Vincent, say something. If you're under there.
As you call out, you hear and feel, this time much more dramatically, boom, boom, like some rumbling somewhere off in the tunnel.
Shit. Alright, we gotta be careful. Let's go see if we can move this rock. There's a rock on top of this stuff. Is that what you said?
It's just crushed on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Stop shouting. Yeah. Be quiet. Something's coming.
Send out your fox. See what you can find.
All right. Yeah. I'll kind of get in I'll try to find my most defensive position I can get in, kind of hiding, and then try to send out some fog.
All right, so you send your fog out around the next corner, and right around the next corner, it's your fog vision, so it's not as acute as your regular vision, but you see a humanoid outline, a body on the ground.
There's a body up ahead. Do you want to go check it out?
Yeah, let's be careful though. Now I'm gonna get into a defensive position and kind of, have my shield out front and start walking towards.
All right. So we're not in combat yet, but you guys are getting sort of combat maneuvers ready. So we are going to have a loose turn order here, starting with Lord Yannick. So Lord Yannick, go ahead and describe what you're going to do.
Sure. So I'm gonna kind of just leave my shield out in front of me and stay close to Craig because he's the one that can kind of see. I've got the torch in one hand, shield in the other, and I'm just kind of following Craig. So.
And how many hit points do you have?
I think I have 3.
And how many pieces of somnium do you have?
6.
Okay. And Craig, how many hit points do you have?
I think, if we're including the bonus to my vigor, right now I have 4 total. I took some damage, I think, at some point. And I don't think I have any somnium.
Okay. Noted. So you continue around the corner, and what you see, Yannick, by torchlight, it affects you. You see the body of Vincent lying there, eyes open in fear, savagely slashed through the abdomen so that he's fully cut in half, and entrails basically pooled out, between the 2 sections of his body. And it looks like he's got one gaping wound through his left, kind of right here near his shoulder, just big puncture wound here, and then just cut in half.
Oh shit! I think I'm gonna be sick. Are you seeing this, Craig?
Oh, Vincent. Oh no.
Oh no. Do you think I can heal him?
I don't think that was in his ways to begin with.
Oh man, whatever did this to him is very strong, very savage.
Yeah, do you see the way it's just cut right through him? Jeez. I would like to try to close his eyes, or at least something that is, to make it seem less horrific.
Can I search his body?
You successfully close his eyes, and you search his body, and in doing so, it appears that his body has already been searched. But I'm going to let you make a guile check to try and find something that maybe got passed over.
I got another natural 20.
So you do find, tucked far and away, that Vincent had a somnium piece, an extra somnium piece that whoever searched his body did not find. And we'll say that also. I wish I had. I wish I had his character sheet so I knew what else was on there that would be relevant. But we'll say that. We'll say that's what we find for now.
That's fine.
Yep.
I'd like to grab his hat,
His hat. Okay.
Yeah.
So you grab his hat.
toss in the bag.
And with a little bit of, you can brush it off. It's pretty much as good as it was. It got kind of smashed, but
Might not have been the best to begin with.
wasn't the best to begin with. And so, you're basically on the precipice of the dwarven camp here.
Whatever did this to him searched his body and took pretty much everything he had. I think it's intelligent too. I'm wondering if it's going after the dwarves. They might need our help.
I mean, it seems like that's the only thing in this direction at this point. Well, now that Vincent's gone. But yeah, we saw those Lizzie footprints on the way over here. I'm sure. I was really hoping they weren't working with whatever big thing has been going this way, but it seems like they are. So yeah, we should really go check on them. See how those dwarves are doing.
Definitely.
All right, so you finally make your way through the last section of caves. You come out and clearly into what is the precipice of the dwarven camp. And the first thing that you notice is the smell of fire, smoke, kind of on the air. And you hear something pounding in the area beyond. And so we return to the dwarven camp. And I'm going to try to get this. Here's sort of the precipice where you guys are right here. And
This music.
and where did I put your miniatures? Here you go. So Yannick leads the way with Craig right behind. Okay. And you step into this, you step in to see a scene of ruination. The dwarven camp is basically in shambles. Like the tent is like kind of torn open. There's fires everywhere. Columns have been knocked over. The signs, supplies are strewn about. Pools of blood here and there, and the cart, the low road cart, is kind of off kilter and pushed off of the monorail. What do you do?
I take a quick look around. I take a glance around and see if I see anything obvious, and then I'm gonna kind of rush over to the tent to see if there's anybody in there.
All right, so you rush forward past Yannick. We're gonna say like that's one move action, kind of towards this fallen column, and then all of a sudden you hear the scream of a Lizzie saying, "More road killers! They've come out of the walls, out of the cracks. Come back!" And kind of from the darkness behind the tent, a form emerges of a Lizzie Brute, sort of like stepping into your field of vision past a fire that's kind of like actively burning on Malin's tent there. And you have your second action now.
I'm gonna shout at him, "What have you done?" Shit, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I have insomnia. I'm gonna rush the guy.
All right, so you've got this. You can go right over the fallen pillar, or you can go around.
I'm gonna jump right over it.
All right, make a vigor check for me. Could be grace, alternatively.
I'll do vigor. I got a 23.
All right, so you jump up and like just guerrilla style, like jump, parkour style, like do the two things and like put your feet forward and then like land on the other side of it, and you hit the ground running, stepping on one of these picket signs into the muck and blood as you rush forward, and basically getting over the other side. Your vision is a little clearer. Another sort of section of fire lights nearby, and suddenly you see a figure behind this Lizzie. Some huge beast, something out of Nightmare, out of Time Forgotten, a demon from a dark place, steps into view. And here, I'm going to do a quick model up close preview of this. Some kind of tortured animal that's got, you can see bits of, where bits have been hacked off, other bits have sort of been like clamped on. And yeah, it's under the direction of a Lizzie on a little platform on its back. And you can see sort of depravity in its eyes. It's got big, crude, like hook sections through its mouth, sort of like leading it to and fro, and it starts rampaging through the area. And as it goes, this Lizzie kind of hooks and like kind of swings up to join the other Lizzie on this platform. And this thing just sort of like bowels through here, knocking aside things in its path, and gets a little closer to you here. See if I can zoom in.
Yeah.
My camera setup in my new studio is not really ideal yet. All right, so now we're going to go to Yennik from behind, and Yennik, as this is unfolding before you, some Lizzies that had previously been kind of hiding kind of come into appearance here. One's behind there, and then a little bit to the left here on this column, there's another one that comes out of hiding, sort of. Little trap has been set here. So, Yennik, it's now your turn. And you're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna yell to Craig. They've got us surrounded. We've fallen into their trap. I think we need to back out, get a better position.
Yeah, I feel really dumb right now.
And with that, I'm gonna, get my shield down. I'm gonna kind of go off to the left behind that pillar that Lizzie's standing out, and maybe like go up and try to like bash the Lizzie if I can.
Okay. So yeah, as you step towards your left there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you step forward, and this Lizzie immediately rushes in to engage you. It's a brute, big piercings, like kind of bone things gone through its flesh, big claws and spiny back, and it steps forward, kind of like, ha, ha, and like immediately rushes at you. You can see that its claws are covered in fresh blood, and it's been, rummaging around in the Dwarven camp. So if you choose to engage with it, it's choosing to engage with you, and you guys can go straight to opposed vigor rolls.
Okay, so how does that work if I'm like defensive and attacking people?
Oh, so if you resist engagement, then it's gonna have to roll against your defense in order to attack you. Okay. So basically, and then since you have your, I would say that because of your ability to like detail this a little bit more, your level up ability, you should be able to bash, and if your bash is successful, then you can like basically disengage as a part of that.
Okay.
If your bash is unsuccessful, then you're going to be engaged and vulnerable to, an attack, basically.
Okay, and then I just have to like roll again the next turn to see if I disengage or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, on your turn, stepping away, you can disengage. Normally, you can just, that's my memory of it anyways, and we're not going to look it up now, but you can just disengage if you want to. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So like the shield bash can disengage also is kind of my skill, maybe. That's
Yeah.
kind of the added part. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
It'll knock them backwards, and then they'll have to re-engage with you. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that new mechanic there.
All right.
again.
So in that case, it's going to you're going to get first to have a chance to like eschew disengagement there, or engagement rather. So go ahead and just make an attack. You're still going to retain your defense bonus, and you'll just roll as if you were attacking normally to engage with the Lizzie. Well, it already engages with you, so now it's just a question of whether you
More?
get and if your vigor is a 6, then you're going to be rolling a d6 now.
Yeah,
Oh, it's not. Okay. All right.
I did get a 4 though.
All right, so it got a 3. So you successfully bashed the Lizzie back. It's sort of like dazed. It takes a hit point damage, and it kind of stumbles back towards this little plume of smoke. And you've got another action.
Okay, so I'm gonna like keep going to the left if possible, but like maybe like backing away from this guy, just trying to get closer to like maybe a more narrow area where there's not, 6 Lizzies and a Triceratops.
Okay.
So I'm thinking
So-
like using that pillar as like partial cover or something.
Right here?
Yeah.
Or this one here, or what?
The one closest to me, like immediately to the left, maybe.
All right, so you kind of dash forward, you bash this thing out of the way, and then kind of get some cover behind this pillar. That's what I'm taking
Yeah.
to be the case. Yeah. Okay. So in response, this Lizzie, after being bashed, it kind of like rushes in to pursue you, and this one steps from behind the pillar and is going to try and throw a like a spear at you, and it's going to attempt to target you. So it's going to roll d20 and describe to me your bonus for being in defensive here.
So I get plus 4 is what I've understood.
Okay.
it to be on
And I'm going to give it disadvantage because you're behind cover there. So I'm going to roll twice. Looks like my worst roll was an 8. So the spear plinks off of the side of the pillar, and the other one rushes in to try and engage with you. It's going to attack at you. Doesn't make it. So you're kind of there fending this thing off with your shield kind of set along with the pillar. Craig, we're going to return to you. You've got an action before this thing takes its movement again, basically. It's barreling towards you, though.
I think I'm just trying to like dive off to the left. Like I'm trying to use the momentum I have to keep on going to the left, I guess, rather than taking that Triceratops out.
So yeah, you jumped over this column, and then you dive off to the left in front of Malin's tent. You sort of dive through the flames here, and as you're going, you see you getting a better view of this thing barreling down on you, where part of its sort of horned carapace, this sort of shield getting from its head, bits have been like clawed out or like caught off, and in its place they've sort of bolted in plates of metal, presumably things that they scavenged from the dwarves. It seems, outside of Lizzie capability to have fabricated some of this stuff.
Oh, wow.
And the thing's barreling towards you, and then you see one of the Lizzies on top of the beast is wielding the gem cutter wand.
Huh.
And just not doing it even the right way. It might be backwards or like upside down. It's just like just kind of like shaking it around as like a totem of like, I've got the thing, and then the other one is going to try and throw a spear at you as you are diving out of the way. And so okay, that's a 3. Throws a spear, and then this thing is barreling towards you. So you dive one movement to dive over here, out of the way. You got another movement or another action.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up and kind of run back towards where I'm gonna get behind the pillar essentially. So we're initially where I was running towards the pillar. I just want to go back to that behind it though.
Okay,
the one
you
behind
managed to step. You could step
Yeah,
right there.
like over there. Yeah.
All right, so you step there, and well, it's a bit complicated because as this thing's running towards you. So when you dive over here,
Mm-hmm.
this thing goes forward and just kind of like barrels this, through it.
Oh,
it's
okay.
over here, and so then you could step right there to be like behind the pillar, basically.
Oh, I didn't realize it's just gonna knock all that crap out of the way. Oh, that's a different.
This thing's
story.
like really like strong and just like kind of like pushes it, you know, kind of. It's not like doesn't go flying, but it just kind of like like moves it out of the way a little bit there. Definitely impeded its movement, but it can potentially push these things around. Yeah.
What are we? Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's it for me. I'm kind of in shock. I need to gather myself. What is there? 3 of
Oh,
them up there? 2?
2.
Okay.
And as it does this, and you like kind of doing it, it slowly like turns around, and you see it like whip this blade on its tail, and it just kind of like sends sparks as it sort of like blades across the cave wall here towards the entrance from whence you came. Yeah, and so we're gonna return back to Yannick behind the column here. I don't have a great shot of that, but that's where you are.
Okay. So I assume that the guy is like back up right next to me again, since he attacked me.
Yes, yes.
So I'm gonna try to like shield bash him away again, if I can.
Okay, yeah, you're attempting to disengage him, make him,
I got a 1.
Critical fail, critical 1.
Oh, I thought this was just a D4.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're doing opposed. Yeah, you got it. Let me roll for that. Got a 2, so it manages to maintain the engagement.
Okay.
You got another action though, so you can't attack it.
I can't.
You can.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try the same thing again, I guess.
All right, let's roll again.
I got a 4
Got a
there.
1. All right, so you managed to bash it backwards again. This time you really send it like just kind of like crunch. You can feel through the weight of the shield, something snaps in the Lizzie. There's like a brutal cough, and it falls backwards into the flame here and just like starts to like light up, you know. The other Lizzie steps forward, however, and is going to draws 2 more spears, and it's going to throw one and then another at you, attempting to target you with the first one, misses. With the second one, what's your defense right now?
Am I in defensive state?
Yes.
Then 20.
Okay, so that one is going to have a chance to hit you.
Okay.
We're going to roll opposed. His vigor against your grace.
Oh, okay.
4. So that one is going to hit you.
Yeah, I got 1.
And the second spear gets through, takes purchase, and you can choose how it damages you, but it does a point of damage to you.
Okay.
And as you're there, this thing is going to, you can tell that it's starting now, kind of coming towards your section behind the pillar there. And Craig, it is now your turn. Again, I'm not going to have a great view
No,
of
that's
the action,
fine.
but
So can I take a look at how those guys are like that whole mount is strapped onto the monster?
yeah,
Like,
so
is
basically,
that just like leather?
yeah, like a big, there's kind of a banded metal strap going around, and they're on a little wooden
Okay.
platform up there.
Would it be ridiculous for me to try to like disrupt the platform and try to knock them off?
I don't think so. Yeah, you could probably come up with something in that dimension.
Okay, I'd like to do that, and I'd like to incorporate the one of the signs as well. I don't know if I want to use that to like kind of help tear apart part of the mounting.
So
system
it
or
looks
not.
like there's a big. Make a guile check for me here as your point. Make a vision check, actually.
Okay. I got a natural 1.
Okay, so from your angle, it's hard to tell how it connects, but you think if you can see sort of how this platform connects to the band, you might be able to figure something out. But from your current vantage point, you don't have a very good view of it.
I'm feeling like that's my only option, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go for it.
All right, so tell me how you're going to get there.
Can I like? I'm gonna try to like almost. I'm gonna try to just come around the back side of it, kind of where it's blocked by the guys, and I'm gonna try to almost sneak up and try to do it because it looks like it's focusing Yannick. While it's kind of distracted, I'm gonna try to sneak up and just like look for the weak part and just rip it out.
All right, so you're running around this way.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so you dash over this way, and as you do so, a previously unseen Lizzie that's been hiding behind this downed cart steps out and is going to try to attempt to jab at you with its weird, crude knife thing. Hard to see here, but let's.
I've got an idea.
make
Yeah.
it visible, yeah. So it steps out from sort of like behind this cart. You hadn't previously seen it. It's going to try to take sort of like a sneak jab at you here. So it's going to sidestep your defense and go straight towards opposed vigor rolls here.
Okay.
Gets a 1, so not gonna connect.
I got
And
5.
now you're engaged with this thing though, and it is going to try and after it's like fails to get a strike on you, it's going to turn and try to whip its tail at you. That one is also a 1, so it attacks you twice, but fails to make purchase. You have another action, so you're going to continue towards the dino here, or are you going to tango with this guy?
Yeah, I'm gonna continue towards the dino.
All right, so you kind of leave this guy behind and move towards and make another vision check as you get up close to the back of this thing.
4.
4. Okay, so
Yeah.
through the smoke and the glowing shoes and the whole scene, it is not certainly ideal conditions to see exactly what's going on. What you can make out is the lumbering form of this Hulk in front of you, and as you get near and your little twinkle toes near the beast, one of them looks down to Lizzie and says, "Look, the road killer approaches from the rear. Cut him up!" And sort of like yanks on the reins, and the thing swings its tail towards you with this basically giant, knife attached to it. And so it's going to take a swipe at you and try to target you. That's going to be a 23.
That'll hit.
That'll hit, and it's going to roll opposed vigor with you, and it's going to roll on a d8. So I have to scrounge up a d8 here. Hold on. That is a d10. Where's a good old d8 when I need one? Sorry, guys. Ill prepared there.
It's alright.
I gotta tug out the old Crown Royale bag. Classic.
Yes, sir.
Some things never change. All right. Wow. It's just making me realize just how dice light the game we play is. That I have to like wait around for a die, which is okay by me. Okay. So, pose vigor check now. I got a 2.
I got a 4.
All right, so this thing swings, and you like duck, and you're ducking in front of this fallen piece of column, and it just hits and just like gouges like a big kind of chunk taken out of this column, and it's just like this like crack like over you, like like ching. That thing you not. It would be painful to get hit by that thing, and you're thinking that's probably what happened to Vincent. Is he got hit by this thing and neatly cut in half. All right, so we're going to return to Yannick, who is there, kind of dodging. Oh, that's too far. Dodging cover from this other Lizzie, and one of the Lizzies that's up top is going. Forget him. Like focus on the one with the weird door, I guess, attached to his head. Yeah, and so they're going to move forward and they're going to try to attempt to knock over this pillar that you're behind. So make a grace check in response to that, or tell me how you're going to respond to that. As this
I'm gonna,
moving
yeah. So I got hit by this spear, and the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm thinking it's like it kind of went through my shield and like grazed my arm a little bit or something. And that's how I got hurt. So I'm gonna try to like rip this spear out of my shield so it's not just like sticking out the front.
All right, you don't have any problem doing that. You managed to withdraw the spear.
And then so I'm gonna like try to like stay on the other side of this column from this guy. So I'm gonna like kind of do like a backwards somersault behind it or something like that. Something completely unnecessary.
All right, so you roll backwards and pop up directly opposed to this thing as it's barreling down. It's going to make a vigor attempt to try and knock this column over on top of you. And so I'm I'm gonna add its vigor score. And, so it smashes into this column. There's a little bit of resistance, and then like it starts to like lean over, like it's going on top of you. So you got another action here.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I guess I'm gonna like jump out of the way of that. And I think the crushing reality of how strong this thing is now is like setting in, that it just like knocked over this massive stone column.
So yeah, you step forward out of the way as this thing smashes down, and this thing sort of bowls in place. And they're a little bit discombobulated, but the one that's up there is like, just kind of like shaking this thing at you, even though it doesn't do anything, and just like, And then the other one is going to, you see him raises up, and he's got a piece of somnium in his hand, and he throws it down at you. So even, crude creatures that don't really have understanding of the magic, with the right application of force, can cause a somnium blast. And maybe this is some of the somnium that was left on Vincent. Maybe it belongs to the dwarves. You don't know. But this thing throws a piece of somnium down at you, and so I'm going to give you a grace check to chance to evade. Otherwise, this blast of fire is going to affect you.
Okay. I got a 10.
All right, so this explodes near you and sort of blasts you backwards, sort of in the direction of this other Lizzie a little bit. You sort of tumble over this bit of signage, and you're hit with a point of damage there. I got to move some of the stuff that's off camera here. All right. And we're going to return to Craig. Craig, this one that's behind you, it runs up and attempts to engage with you from behind here. Do you accept engagement?
No.
Okay, so you resist engagement. It's going to have to... okay, so does a 19 hit you?
Yep.
All right, and so you're going to roll opposed vigor. Got a 2.
4.
All right, it's going to make another attempt to attack you. Got a 2 again.
4 again. Jesus, I'm only rolling
All right.
4s on this.
So you managed to defend yourself. Now you've got your actions.
I'm just gonna destroy this guy. I'm just turning around. I'm just gonna start punching him.
All right, so you turn around and unleash a flurry of blows on this thing. Your big clay fists just bashing on him. Go ahead and make your rolls. Got a 4 this time.
I got a 6.
Okay, so that's 1 hit, and I got a 3.
I got a 5.
All right, so that's 2 hits. You like swing, and you're like just laying haymakers. This thing, 1 crunch, and it's like collapsed a lung on that side. Another crunch with the left hand, just like and just like crack the neck, and it goes limp. Its daggers fall loose from its hands, and that's pretty much your turn. But give us some dialogue here.
Well, could I also use my throw ability?
Oh, okay, sure. Where are you trying to throw it?
I'm just throwing it at the monster.
All right.
Chuck a body at it.
So,
because that's just like a
Go
special attack.
yeah, go ahead and make another target attempt to see if, tell me where you're trying to hit one of the guys off of the dino. What are you trying to do here?
I was just gonna hit him with it, just kind of like in the tail or whatever's like easiest. Like I wasn't gonna I was just gonna throw at it too.
So you toss this thing, and it basically bounces off the tail of the Lizzie, and just sort of lands in a mess over here.
Yeah.
And in response, you see that this thing turns around, and it makes a swipe, and just cuts a big gouge out of this thing as it turns, goes and is starting to turn back around. Kind of takes some time maneuvering around to get towards you, and we jump back as Yannick is blasted backwards. The guy that was throwing spears at him previously just runs on all fours towards him, and as he's going, his sort of frills behind him kind of come out, and he's spitting venom towards Lord Yannick. Attempting to target, shoots 1 jet of venom. You easily dodge it, and actually you easily dodge the second one as well. I'm not rolling very well for these guys. So Yannick, it's your action.
Yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do is take a piece of somnium and heal myself. Um, so I kind of forget how that works, but
So you're going to use an action to do that, and you're going to use your vision score to roll a whatever your relevant die is and heal that many hit points.
okay. Okay, so I got 2 hit points back, which puts me at max. I'm back at 3, and then I guess seeing this guy come at me, I'm gonna shout over to Craig and just be like, "You got the big one, right?" And then I'm just gonna focus solely on the small guy and like maybe like go into a defensive state over here. He's probably too far away for me to go bash him. So I
He's
might,
up in your business here. It would just take a little bit of movement.
oh, okay. So yeah, I might like walk up and try to like shield bash him.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and go up, and he's gonna engage with you. So we'll take opposed vigor rolls here.
Sure.
And actually, this guy I kind of forgot about back by the tent. You see that he is moving towards you as well. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I got a 2 on my vigor.
I also got a 2, so you managed to shield bash this one for a point of damage.
Okay. Cool. So I'm like back in a defensive state, right?
Yeah, and then the one that was behind, the one that you're engaged with now, by the Better Ale and More sign, he's also going to chuck a spear at you. Eat spear, road killer! Attempts to target you, fails. I'm going to say that he has another spear. Oh, Jesus, okay, another failure. Useless! Fuck! Alright, and now we're going to return back to Craig as the beast resumes its rotation, and you see this thing, sort of the like pain in its eyes. It's like kind of bloodshot, blood caked, you know, through the rings. It's the Lizzie's kind of like tightened down on the reins, and this thing just like lets out this baleful moan as it just barrels towards you, froth in its mouth. It's coming straight for you. Roll a grace check to not be bowled over by this thing.
Ooh, I got a 18.
Good check. All right, so you managed to duck, and you're sort of underneath the legs of this thing as it's moving. Make a vision check.
I got a 12.
Okay, so you do spot basically like a bolt underneath that's sort of like pinning this, whatever this is, this saddle apparatus together. You're thinking if you could make a targeted strike to the bolt, you might be able to undo the saddle.
Okay.
Doesn't look like an easy strike necessarily, as you're there just kind of like dodging around underneath this thing, and you are bulky, so there's not a lot of wiggle room. What do you do?
So this is gonna be like I'm setting something up for the turn after, but I'm going to run down the hallway that we came from while also shooting out as much fog as I can.
Behind you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you shoot out fog behind you, and you take off back down the hallway here, and you get, you know, a little ways into that hall. Let me adjust my camera a little bit here. If I can. All right. How's that then? There we go.
Yeah.
Camera's kind of screwed up now. That's okay though. All right. What's next? I guess that's pretty much your turn, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you are now sort of alcoved, at least protected somewhat from this thing. You know, it's gonna have to squeeze in here to get to you. How about back to? We're gonna take one strike from this guy up top. He's gonna throw another Somnium piece, this time at you.
Okay.
Grace check to avoid. Against a 15 here.
Oh, I got a 13.
All right, so as you're tossing down in here, there's an explosion, which somewhat disrupts your mist, not entirely, and you take a point of damage.
Okay.
All right, now it is your turn, Lord Yannick.
Guess we're retreating, and I'm gonna try to follow. I guess.
Oh, I'm not retreating.
Oh.
But yeah, you don't know that, but yeah. I guess.
Yeah, I'm seeing, Craig run away and putting up a smoke screen. So I'm like freaking out that I'm left here with a couple, a few
So you
legs.
do have this beast basically right between you and the
Yeah.
doorway emptying,
That's a good
and the
point.
business end of its tail chopper here.
Hey, that's a good point. Well, I guess in that case, I have that spear that I picked up, right?
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna try to spear the Lizzie in front of me. I'm not even entirely sure what. That's probably a grace or no vigor.
It's a long arm, and you're engaged with it, or you're not engaged with it. So you're gonna have to target it, but or it's yeah. So just go ahead and roll a d20 plus your vigor.
I got a 20.
Yeah. Okay. So you engage and you move to strike, and it's gonna roll opposed vigor against you. Got a 3.
I got a 2.
All right. So you don't manage to strike that time. You got another action.
I guess I'll like jab again with it.
All right. I got a 4 this time.
That's not good. I got a 1.
All right, so you take a couple of strikes, but this thing manages to beat you back, and in response, it once again tries to venom spray at you. Since you guys are engaged, we're just going to roll its grace against your grace. Got a 1, so it doesn't hit. And then it fails to spray. You kind of just hold out your shield and absorb the venom, and then it's going to attempt to try to rip you towards it, like by grabbing your shield, I guess. And we're gonna do opposed vigor checks. I got a 3.
I got a 3.
All right, so attacker wins in that case. So it pulls you close, and while it's holding like this, it may have other weapons it can attack you with, but you're not going to be able to do your shield thing until you can disengage successfully.
Okay.
And we had one Lizzie that was behind it, even comes up behind and just like dives over and is going to try and sort of like tuck and roll and like hit you with its back spines, basically. So it's going to target you. You're not in your defensive mode, but what's your AC, your defense?
It'd be 16 without the defense, yeah.
All right, so this thing kind of like spins trying to hit you, goes over and misses, but it turns around and tries to claw you regardless. Misses. Oh, Lord. Okay. In any case, we return to Craig now in the hallway there.
Yeah. So have you ever played the game Portal?
Oh, yeah.
I'm essentially I want to run as fast as I can down the hallway and then use my momentum and Misty step behind the guys on top of the monster and try to cannonball into them.
Okay. Yeah, so you use that one for the day. We're going to have to give you some kind of attack here. You're just going to have to target them.
Okay.
So make that a grace based check to hit in the right spot.
Okay.
And
I got a 4.
a 4. All right,
Yeah.
so you successfully teleport behind him, and you knock off the one that had the Great Wand, and the two of you go tumbling off of the beast. This I already fell down, I guess. And so you guys are in a heap now, like in the entrance of the hallway again. And
Okay.
so you smack that guy off. The other one is still like rears on the reins, and it turns and attempts to slice through both of you with the tail swipe. So it's going to attack there. So that is so it attempts to go. I got a bad roll, not a critical failure, but a bad roll. It swipes its tail past you, and you're kind of wrestling with this thing, and it just like swing slices the head off of this other Lizzie, which then goes rolling, and its hands go limp, releasing the Great Wand right in front of you here. So it's now kind of turned away from you, and it's like kind of bucking. It's like there's been commotion above, so the thing is a little bit trying to wrest control of this beast, and yeah. You got another action, I guess.
Oh, okay. I'm picking up the other half of the Great Wand and I'm gonna run towards Yannick.
Okay. So you're carrying the big great one now. That's pretty much taking up both hands for you.
Okay.
But you don't use your hands. You don't need to have a weapon in your hands anyway, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Just,
so
like
you're,
headbutt people.
so you basically lift that up, and now you're poised to move, but you don't have any movement. We cut back to Yannick, who's being flanked by these things now. One of them's got a hold of his shield, and it is going to. The one that's holding your shield is once again going to try to venom spray you, Yannick. So we're just going to do its grace opposed to your vigor. Got a 2.
I got
You
a
mean-
4. Yeah.
All right, so it does not successfully spray you. You manage to like pull your thing back up and block yourself. It's going to make one more attempt this way. Running out of venom, but 3.
I dropped my die. I got a 3 as well. Yeah.
All right, so as the attacker, it does gain advantage there. It sprays venom in your eyes and deals a point of damage to you, and now you're like partially blinded. The one that's behind you is going to rake, but you get to have your actions first, so go ahead and take your 2 actions.
Yeah, so after getting sprayed in the face with some acid and like seeing the situation I'm gonna try to like break free or disengage
Okay.
and yeah, kind of probably get out of there.
So in this context, you're engaged. Just make an opposed vigor to break the engagement.
So just a D4 or
Yeah, or whatever your vigor thing is. I got a 3.
I got a 4.
All right, so you managed to break back the engagement. You bash this thing and do another point of damage to it, and it just like kind of, it's a successful attack. You describe what you do with your shield.
Okay, so he's like holding on to the top of it, and I'm just gonna like,
Go ahead.
and so like I'm seeing kind of like an ideal opportunity just to like jam it up into his neck, like the top edge, and so I'm gonna like basically just like jump up with all my force, like hit him right in the trachea, and yeah, and then presumably he.
So you like bring it up harsh under it. It's like just like crunches its like tongue in its mouth. Its long tongue is just like, and then it just like is up, and then you bring it down like and just like smash it into the ground, and it's toast. You've got another action.
So yeah, I'm gonna like, yeah, I'm gonna turn around and try to take care of this guy, I guess. Just like shield bash him also.
All right, so as you turn, you notice that like your vision is now impaired by the venom spray. So in order, you're going to have a disadvantage to engage with this creature.
Okay. That's just a D20 roll then.
Plus your vigor.
Bigger. Okay. Yeah, I got a 19. You said a -2, so I got a 19.
No, it's the 2 rolls and the lesser of the
Oh,
rolls.
that's right. Never mind. I got an 8.
All right, so this thing you don't manage to engage with it. It is going to actually kind of dancing around you. It says, "What's wrong, road killer? Feeling a little bit." It just like doesn't come up with its line. It's just like that, just kind of abandons it, and decides to just try to claw out at you. All right, it does have one claw strike that potentially is going to hit, so we're going to roll opposed vigor now. Got a 4, so that's a hit. And as it strikes out on you, it gives you a good clashing, a good clawing, and does a point of damage to you. And we're going to return to Craig. And Craig, this thing is kind of out of control. It barrels through here, knocking some of this stuff loose. And then it kind of sweeps, and it does another arc where it like cuts around with its big like tail claw. And you see this collapses the tent fully. And when it does so, it reveals the form of Colin, who is sort of sitting up against like a bit of rubble over here now, like kind of exposed now that the tent is, been kicked aside here.
Oh goodness.
And it is your turn.
Well, I don't have any somnium. I've got one eye. Yennik's blinded. I'm gonna drop the mining laser and I'm gonna try to use the pillar and jump up on top of the monster with the other guy.
Okay. Okay. So, sorry. Run that by me one more time.
I'm gonna drop the mining laser and then it kind of looks like that pillar is almost leading up to like the back end of the monster.
Yes. Okay.
Kind of want to climb up and then try to jump on top and use that as a better way to get up
All
there.
right. So if you can do a grace check against the room to like run across, run up that column, and like jump up on the platform. Let's say you got to roll against a 12 for that grace check.
All right. I have a natural 20.
All right, so you see like Colin exposed over there. It sort of like sinks in like, oh shit, like is Colin okay? You rush up there and you like jump up here and you manage to like step right up and you're now like all of a sudden right alongside the Lizzie in question. You have another action.
I'm gonna punch him.
All right. You swing, and you're gonna have to hit to engage. So D20 plus vigor.
25.
Yeah. So you majorly hit. Let's do opposed vigor checks. And I got a 3.
I got a 1.
All right. So you punch, but it sort of ducks with the punch and like kind of grips with you. You guys are now struggling at the top, but you see that it's like sort of dropped rain a little bit, and now the thing is like kind of swinging again and brushing aside some of this column pieces. And we're gonna go with that. You fall forward and sort of now are standing on the head of the beast, opposite of this thing. Yannick, we flash back to you.
Yeah. I'm hurting pretty bad, so I'm gonna do another healing touch on myself if I can. I don't know if I have to disengage first to do that or.
No, you can do that. Well, no,
I
you
mean,
can do that.
have you hit that guy once already?
I have not hit that guy at all.
Oh,
He
okay.
hit me though last turn, so I assume we're engaged.
Yeah, you're engaged. So you, you can make your somnium piece there.
Okay.
So what's your roll for that?
I just rolled the d6, or do I
Yeah,
roll?
D6.
Yeah, so I got a 2 again.
Okay, so you heal 2 points. And you got another action.
Yep. So I'm gonna, just try to. I've got this, I guess, spear. Are we still engaged or no?
You guys are still engaged.
I'm gonna give him a little jabby jab.
All right. He gets a 3.
I got a 2.
And in response to the jab, it like pulls and is trying to yank the spear away from you as another like opposed vigor roll there. Got a 3.
Got a 3 as well.
All right, so it yanks the spear out of your hands, and then it's just going to try to poke you with the same end that like it yanked from. Just try to stab you. Another 3.
Got a 2.
All right, so then it like pulls the spear from you and like gets you with it, jabs you for a point of damage. And we return to Craig atop the beast, and you hear as you're up there, "Look out, Craig!" All right.
Oh my god, that's just like that imagery right there of like me standing on the monster in between like the guy controlling the monster and then Rollin or Colin down there like, oh no, I gotta protect my buddy. I love it.
All right. What do you do?
I'm running up and punching that Lizzie again.
All right. So you run up and strike at this guy. Go ahead and roll to engage rather.
Plus my vigor, right? So that's a 15.
All right, so that's just gonna hit, and let's roll opposed vigor. You're engaged. I got a 3.
Got a 2. I'm gonna go for another one.
Okay.
Got a 4.
I also got a 4, so the attacker gets it, and you've got
okay.
special attack because you tied.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw him, and I'm just gonna like try to just push him off the back and get him near that choppy blade.
Yeah, so you basically rush up, you punch and miss, and then go with both hands, lift him up, and just like throw him backwards, impaling him on this tail spike, and sending the the thing's like has no leash now, and it's just sort of like whipping around randomly. Whoosh, whoosh. And we are going to return to Yannick. And Yannick, this thing is going to take 2 spear attacks at you. That's a 4, so that's going to hit, and a 2.
I got a 4.
Opposed to the 2?
Oh, okay. I got a 4, then a 2. So I guess both.
Oh, okay. So it's both of those are going to hit, and it's going to get a special attack on that since it tied with you. And so it, as it like sticks a spear in you, you can see sort of like energy pulsing, and it's got one of these electrogenic glands, and it's going to shock you for another point of vigor damage there.
Oh man! So my vigor loses 1, and I lose
Your vigor
2.
doesn't go down, just the hit points. You dealt 2. You're dealt total of 3 damage.
Okay, so I'm at -1.
All right, so just then, basically, what were you at? You were at 3?
I was at 2. I only have 3 max, so every
I
time
thought
I've
you
been
healed
healing-
yourself 2. Oh, I see. You've only got 3 max.
Yeah,
So you're at 0, right? Because you were at 3.
I was at 2 because he attacked. So I think
Oh,
he's been giving him 2 turns each time, but
I give him 2 actions.
well,
Yeah.
I meant 4 actions each time, but because they normally attack before I go and then after I go.
Well, one of them did. I don't think I've been doing that. Possibly I've been doing that. We'll say in case that I have that you're dying at 0 hit points right now.
Sure.
And you've still got your regular actions though.
Okay, so like, what can you do when you're at 0? Like,
You could heal yourself.
okay. Well then, yeah, I guess I'm gonna heal myself so I don't die.
Recommended. Highly recommended. Doctor recommended.
All right, so I'm gonna heal myself again because I only got a 1. That's 2 somnium.
Out and out.
And so, yeah, a 1 and a 2, so I'm back up to 3, I guess.
And what's your somnium pool like?
3 left. I had 7
Okay.
before the start of the combat.
All right. That's your turn, and we're gonna return to Craig. I knew you would come for us, Craig.
Stay right there. I'll be back to help in a minute. I'm gonna just try to steer it. I just want to send it back down the hallway we came from.
Okay. So make a guile check to try and control the beast here.
Got a 19.
That's pretty good. I'd say you've got 1 movement in your package now. So you're trying to steal it towards the hallway?
Yeah, I'm just gonna like if ideally I would like to walk it all the way down to the Eye of Shiga and just walk it into that, but that seems like it's really far away. I just want to kind of just get it start like rampaging down that hallway or whatever. Okay.
Before you are you like gonna jump off of it or what?
Yeah, I just yeah, like I'll jump off the side of it before like it goes into the tunnel, you know.
All right, so you set this thing in a charge. You send it running towards the tunnel, and at the last minute, you like jump off the back and roll away, and it just keeps thundering away like into the tunnel, all mad and confused.
Awesome.
And you land on your feet. But you do see that Yannick is still struggling over here with this other Lizzie.
I'm gonna run over there and be like, all right, I'm going over here now. Yeah.
And Yannick, what do you do? He's headed over there to meet you.
Yeah, thanks. I could use a hand. Or Or like, my eyes, they hurt. I've got acid in them.
I've got acid. I've been electrocuted. Somebody
Yeah.
help me.
I'm feeling pretty rough for having full hit points, I guess. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to like. Can I grapple this Lizzie from behind?
Well, you're facing it right now.
Yeah. I want to like.
You
put
can
him
try
in
to step behind it.
I want to put him in a full Nelson so
Full Nelson.
Craig can just like punch his face in.
All right. Well, engage with him then. You guys are already engaged. Just roll. If you can roll opposed vigor, you can get positioned.
Okay. I got a 4.
Okay, that's gonna work then. So you managed to kind of get behind him, and are you gonna just hold action, or what are you gonna do?
Basically, I'm gonna try to hold his arms behind him, and be like,
All right.
Craig,
Well, with
back
his
his face
action-
in. Oh,
With his action, he's gonna struggle against you. So you guys roll opposed vigor to hold him in place here.
Okay. I got a 3.
He got a 1. So you're holding this Lizzie in place, and leaving him exposed when Craig's turn comes around. And Craig, go ahead and tell us how it goes down.
Oh, I'm just gonna straight up just punch him right in the face.
All right, he's vulnerable.
Go for
Get him.
the eye.
Give it to him, Craig.
Do I need to roll for engagement?
No. Well, yeah, no. He's just it's gonna be a KO basically. So you described the KO.
Oh, I just straight up punch him so hard his head turns around the other way. He does a 360.
Oh, okay. It's just like just like speed bag on his face basically, and like basically Lord Yennik's doing his best to like hold up this like crunching thing. You know, he's like, okay, easy. And so that Lizzie goes down, and the camp quiets. So we're out of combat. You guys do what you like here.
Whew, that was a close one.
Are you
Like
alright?
I had the easy job there. You took down the massive beast.
Oh no, that's just somebody else's problem now.
Oh no. Yeah. Did I hear Colin over there?
Yeah, let's get over here. Let me help. Actually, I'm gonna like just like I'm gonna pick you up because I feel like it's gonna be faster, and I'm gonna carry you over to him.
While you're doing that, are you hurt at all? Do you need me to heal you?
I'm alright. I'm more concerned about Colin over here.
Okay. So I'm gonna jump on his back and piggyback over there.
All right. So you head over there. You're piggybacked on him. You go to see Colin. You see Colin is sitting up against this sort of like rubble at the kind of in the remains of the tent, and you can see him leaning back and he's smiling at you. He says, "I knew you'd come back for us. Did you find me, brother?"
We did.
Oh, that's good. Thank you, Craig.
We got separated. How are you doing? You don't look so good.
I think everything's gonna be okay, he says.
I can hear the music.
All right. You feeling fine? Can we like inspect him?
Go ahead and roll a vision check.
Sure.
I want to move the goggles.
I got a 23.
All right, so when you take a notice of Colin, you notice that he has some like major gash wound on his side, and he's like white and like covered in like blood in his lower half. Basically, he's like slumped up. His legs look like crushed, like he can't walk, and he's leaning up against, and he's got a smile on his face. He looks happy to see you, basically.
Yeah, buddy. Everything's gonna be okay. You'll see your brothers soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and move the goggles up real quick.
And you lean down and you open up his goggles, and
Or open 'em
his
up.
blank eyes stare back at you as he smiles. It looks like he's passed on.
Oh no, not Colin too. No, how many of my friends are gonna die today?
And so we're gonna do once around the horn here, and that's gonna be the end of our session. So go ahead and give us your impressions here, guys.
This was a bad day. We lost our good friend Vincent, and then Colin didn't make it on us. We don't even know where the other brothers are. Probably in the tent. The Lizzies apparently are far more advanced than we thought. They can put harnesses on giant triceratops, and I don't know. I'm feeling pretty defeated right now. Over to you, Craig.
Spent so much wasted time on these stupid glow-in-the-dark shoes. Although they are a marvel of modern technology, I feel like that time wasted cost us the lives of two of my, although very short-lived, but closest friends I've had my entire life.
Don't you dare say that, Craig. Those shoes were worth it. And you know it.
Were they worth two people's souls?
Yes.
And I want you to. What's your emotional reaction like here, Craig? How are you dealing with? You look on in the kind of the dim light of the fire, and there's a small degree of comfort in the fact that like it seems like Colin was happy at the idea that his brother had been found, but he's passed on, and he's there just with kind of a fixed, the last smile on his face. What's your reaction to that?
Craig definitely sheds a tear out both his eyes, you know, even the foggy one.
So you're really misting. That's like, instead of crying, you just missed, and so it's just like you're getting covered in this cloud.
Just gets really damp all around me. I gotta close his eyes again, and I just kind of let him
down.
No, I'm gonna take the goggles. Those are mine.
Oh, okay, cool. Right on.
Yeah, Craig's about to get real weird. Because then you're gonna go to like side pan to another shot of like all like me and like Yannick just kind of patching ourselves up, sitting around the fire, having a quick little rest, and it's just gonna be me holding Vincent's hat in one hand and Colin's goggles in the other. And then the hat's on, the goggles are just kind of around his neck for right now because he doesn't really need goggles.
Right.
And
I gotta say that was truly unexpected, but it's really funny. That's the image we're coming away with.
And it's about to get steampunk up in here.
And there's perhaps no more appropriate person to get steampunk than you, sir.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. And with that, we're going to conclude tonight's session. Give us your intention for like what happens now. What will you do?
What happens now? I'm gonna look around, see if I can find any traces of the other dwarves. If not, then I'm gonna get this drill working again. Even though I don't think I'm even close to the right person qualified to start fixing it, but I need to go find the rest of my party. So. That's our next best hope.
Yeah. I'm probably just gonna work on the drill, and go from there, I guess.
You're not gonna like secretly gather moss and create more shoes.
I mean, I wish, but I think we're away from that area. I'm not gonna use the rock cutter to save our friends. I'm using it to get more in the dark moss to make shoes.
All right, and that concludes episode 9.